or lease from rules in the morning.
Welcome to this week's episode of Hypothetical Movies. I'm Corey.
I'm Paul.
Phantom Dark Dave.
And here we're pondering what would happen if three of the strangest adult characters that are, have wonderful childlike qualities would meet up. The giant man-child, PeeWee Herman, the king of rednecks, Jim Varney, as Ernest P. Worrell, and the mute Brit, Mr. Bean. What kind of ruckus would they get into? What kind of trouble? What inventions would be had? And who would come out the victor? Or not? Who knows? That's the question on this hypothetical movie.
So, first thing I want to know, are they friends or enemies?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Is this going to be like a battle to the death, like Highlander situation, or is it like a bank heist? Like that, it seems to be an important factor in this.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Pee-wee invites people over for a play date at Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Hey, Zombie, I'm inviting some friends over.
Hey, Conky, what's the word of the day?
Word of the day is crossover.
Crossdresser. Oh, man. So, Mr. Bean, he doesn't talk a lot. I mean, he says a few things here and there. He's like, Christmas socks.
He's got his fucking teddy bear.
He's got his teddy bear with the button eyeballs. And so I could see Mr. Bean definitely going over for a play date. That's something he would show up to. Ernest, though,
Ernest is probably there to do household repairs.
Okay.
Ernest is like an inventor, and the Playhouse is filled with all kinds of strange contraptions, which really do have that Ernest-esque Rube Goldbergy kind of feel.
He's there to fix a sink or something like that.
So it's just kind of like an average day at Pee-wee's Playhouse. I got it. Conky, what's the word of the day? The word of the day today is visitor. All right, Conky. Every time someone visits the house, we have to say, hello, visitor. Ah!
It's creepy how much you guys know about Pee-wee's Playhouse, though. You threw me off guard with that.
So, it's just an average day at the Playhouse, Shit's going down. Pee-wee's playing with toys, and he's, whatnot.
And himself.
And something breaks down. So he gives Ernest a call, and he's like, hey, can you come over and fix the superty duperty luxy buxy toaster oven
thingamaroo?
So in the meantime, there's a knock on the door. Howdy ho, neighbor. And Pee-wee goes, oh, it's Cowboy Curtis. Look, everybody, we have a visitor. Ah!
Who the hell is Cowboy Curtis?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Yeah.
Here I thought Lawrence Fishburne got his start in Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Was that before or after after 89? Or was it 88?
I don't know. It's old enough to have a Dawkins music video, so it's definitely 80s. I would say it's before 89.
Oh, okay, because Pee-wee's Playhouse was like the late 80s, early 90s. Anyway.
Okay. So we got...
So, Ernest shows up, to repair the, whatever the fuckamajigger it is.
Toaster oven.
And, so, he shows up at the door, and Pee-wee goes, hey, everybody, we have another visitor. Ah!
Rob Zombie was a producer on that show, so he's got to be over in the corner, too.
So, he opens up the door, and Ernest is like, anybody can do an Ernest voice? Anybody?
Just think of Slinky Dog.
Hey. Hey there, Pee-wee. I heard you got a problem over here that you need fixed.
He's like a man of 1,000 voices.
Why, yes, Ernest. I broke the toaster oven. So we've got to fix it before somebody gets set on fire.
Next thing you look like half of Pee-wee's Playhouse is on fire.
Fucking Blocky runs out of the kitchen on fire.
They do that whole scream thing, except they're actually screaming while they're on fire. Oh no, guys.
Over in the kitchen,
Terry's flying around like flaming wings and everything.
It hurts, Pee-wee. It hurts.
Oh, Pee-wee, it hurts my wings.
you got Mr. Bean running around with a turkey on his head.
I say, yeah, then the next thing you know, like, the doorbell rings and, oh, hey, everybody, we have another visitor. Ah! It's fucking Mr. Bean. Like, he just opens the door and Bean just, like, stares at him. Just, like, kind of waltzes into the room.
It's our good friend Mr. Bean from the UK.
He falls from that spotlight. So we having a dinner
Bean,
party?
You came over to have a sleepover with me. Yay!
We're still on fire, Pee-wee.
Yeah, Mr. Bean just fucking whips out like some tin foil, and Pee-wee's like, yay, some foil to put on my foil ball. All right, boys and girls, let's see how big the foil ball is today.
Meanwhile, Ernest looks around and notices there's only one sleeping bag.
So you know, Ernest is like, hey guys, come on back over to the kitchen and see what I've done here. And you know,
Oh, no.
There's now like a fucking bowling ball suspended from the ceiling and like a water gun and some, tubular socks. And, one thing connects to the other, and then like it knocks this over and presses this button. The toaster oven like catches fire, and then like toast comes out like perfectly browned, like it was an inferno inside the box, but somehow it comes out perfectly. Ernest, how did you do that? Like,
magical redneck powers.
All of a sudden, PeeWee Herman's like, it smells like hot latex in here.
Help us, Pee-wee, we're dying.
Let me change first.
So Ernest grabs like the seltzer bottle and starts like spraying down all the puppets and shit. Meanwhile, Mr. Bean's like throwing jammy Dodgers at them or something, like.
Oh no!
Something British.
While drinking tea and eating crumpets.
Fucking Blocky is like lying in the corner on fire, and like Mr. Bean is holding a tray over him, like with fish and chips in it, like cooking.
So what about more guests? Do more people show up to when they see the Playhouse is on fire?
Maybe the King of Cartoons shows up. I don't know. Clarabelle Cow probably shows up and starts trying to milk all over the place.
Trying to put it out with milk.
PeeWee, did you know that the Playhouse is on fire? Yes, Clarabelle, can you help me put it out?
What a wacky situation.
Turns out she's not a cow, she's a bull.
Then Ernest starts like his split personality shit, and like Sergeant Ernest is like, all right, man, we've got a fire to put out. And then like he starts playing with this remote control, and fucking helicopters with water balloons start like splashing everywhere, and trying to put out the fire.
So the smoke clears and Mr. Bean's still eating his fish and chips. So does he move for anything?
I don't know. What does Mr. Bean do? I've only seen like one Mr. Bean episode.
See like Mr. Bill on the by the fire melting.
Oh no!
Fire's too hot. Oh no!
So the thing about Mr. Bean is he's just awkward. So he gets up and he tries to mingle with people, but he doesn't really care if they like him or not. So he just kind of does a little dance every time things get awkward. So I imagine seeing the place on fire and he doesn't know what to do. So he just starts busting out a little damn dance. Dancing with his little teddy bear.
He starts dancing, then Pee-wee joins in. Do.
Oh no! And he's wearing that sleeveless leather vest again. Only.
Mr. Bean's bear catches on fire. It's like,
oh no!
And then it cuts back to Mr. Bill, who like crawled into the mouse hole where the claymation dinosaurs live at Pee-wee's Playhouse.
oh, looks like I'm safe here. Oh no, dinosaur!
It's pretty creepy. I don't remember the claymation dinosaurs.
Yeah, there was claymation dinosaurs, and there was Penny, I think.
Yeah.
Oh god, that starts to ring a bell. That's sad. What about Gumby? Is Gumby hanging out?
I was gonna say then like Gumby shows up. It's like claymation overload here.
Oh no.
They're like trying to come up with ways to put the fire out, but like all their water's made out of clay, so it doesn't really help.
So then what's her name? Miss Yvette, is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Miss Yvette shows up, you know, the place is on fire. She's like, Pee-wee, what's going on? And Pee-wee's like, the playhouse is on fire.
Again?
You know, how come you're here as a visitor? Ah! You should have called the fire department.
You're just in time for the sleepover.
And then, you know, Miss Yvette goes, why, Pee-wee, I know exactly what we could do. Let's go talk to Jambi.
Hey, Jambi, the place is on fire. Again.
Pee-wee, what the fuck is going on here?
Were you making toast again? What did I tell you about using that toaster oven?
Jambi, I need to make a wish. Hurry. All right, Pee-wee, what's your wish? Well, we're supposed to have a sleepover, but there's only one sleeping bag. Pee-wee, you know that the playhouse is on fire, right?
But one sleeping
But
bag.
only one sleeping bag. All right, Pee-wee. Well, if this is your wish, you know what to do. Repeat after me. Mecca-lecca hi, mecca-hiney ho.
Oh god.
Mecca-lecca hi, mecca-hiney ho. Now, you know, whatever else he does. And then, you know, bam, now they got 3 sleeping bags. But the playhouse is still on fire.
At least we have something to where we can roast marshmallows now.
And fish and chips.
All the puppets are like, oh my god, just kill us already.
Back at the house, Mr. Bean, he's not really sure about what the claymation puppets are, but as they're melting, they're kind of like disfiguring, and he looks at them and he just thinks it's like clay, so he starts like making cookies. So he's like taking the animals and cutting them up and putting them in the oven. It's cooking your friends.
Mr. Bean just walks over and goes, Wallace and Gromit, no!
Oh no. Shaun the Sheep's in there, man.
It's just claymation Holocaust.
You know,
There you go.
Meanwhile, Ernest, what's Ernest up to? Which person do we have? Centurion personality, old lady personality, basketball star. Did he call Vern over? Like what's going on? Oh no, Ernest went out to the store, and he's out talking with the brothers right now because they're trying to sell him something to put out the fire.
I need a really big bucket. No, I need a really big bucket.
I got it, Ernest. Here's what you need right here. This here is the biggest bucket that we have, and it is filled with none other than sawdust. Now, doesn't sawdust catch on fire? No, Pee-wee. No, Pee-wee. No, Ernest. This sawdust is special fire retardant sawdust. Now, this
What'd you
will
call
put
me?
out any fire that you have. And you know what? If you buy one, I'll throw in a second bucket for free, and I will give you this here can of aerosol fire out spray.
Well, I've never seen sawdust on fire before, so that's a good sign.
So he takes the fucking giant buckets of sawdust and aerosol fire out spray back to the playhouse. Meanwhile, you know, Pee-wee's rolling Cherry outside because Cherry's like, Pee-wee, I'm on fire! Like,
Oh gosh.
Mr. Bean's like folding a napkin while like sitting in a chair while the room's on fire around him.
He doesn't even know what's going on.
like seriously, does nobody know how to call the fire department? Like,
Apparently not.
I don't think Mr. Bean knows what a phone is.
I'll say this: Pee-wee probably picked up his phone and it led to like a cartoon segment.
Dare to stay off drugs.
Hey, Cowboy Curtis, did you know that place is on fire? Yes, Pee-wee, I'm on fire currently.
My Jerry curl, Pee-wee, it's on fire.
Oh man. So we got Pee-wee's Playhouse is on fire. Mr. Bean sits there Ernest is coming home with sawdust. Maybe he brings home an abundance of milk as well, since he knows that milk defeats trolls, and he figures it might defeat fire as well.
What could possibly go wrong?
So he starts throwing the fire retardant sawdust on the fire, and it's doing nothing. It's just growing.
Ernest, we don't even have a saw.
But it smells good.
Yeah. Then he tries the can of aerosol fire away. Oh, if only it were bat repellent fire spray, you know.
Oh no. Well, see, the good news is if everybody burns to death, then Herbert West could just come bring everybody back to life.
We'll have zombified like puppets and shit like that.
Could you imagine like a zombie Mr. Bean if he catches on fire? What that would be like? He would still move the same, but you know.
He's still making his fish and chips, but he's like setting the table and everything while everything's on fire.
So then you have a flash to another one of the Ernest like multiple personalities, and it's just like it's him in like the camo makeup and stuff. Back in the war, we used to see fires like this all the time. I know exactly what to do. And then you see a montage of like all the different Ernest personalities like throwing buckets of water on the fire. And like eventually like it gets put out by like the 73 personalities of Ernest P. Worrell.
Oh, we did it, gang. Put that nasty fire out. Good job, soldiers.
You know, Mr. Bean's just kind of like playing with all the toys in the playhouse, and
he's like he's got like third-degree burns, but his fish and chips are finally done, so he's just there eating it with his fork and knife, like.
You know, Pee-wee's just like, no, not Terry. Terry, come back.
If only we had a fourth sleeping bag.
You know, and then, you know, there's a knock on the door. Pee-wee just drops Terry and goes, oh, it sounds like we have another visitor. Ah! It's like, he opens the door, it's the fucking fire department. Sir, we got reports of a fire in the area. Like, no, it's not the fire department, it's fucking Smokey the Bear, because he lives in the middle of the goddamn woods. Smokey the Bear shows up, just points at him and goes, only you can prevent Playhouse fires.
Smokey, we don't have an extra sleeping bag for you. And Zombie burnt down, so we can't wish for another one. This is the worst sleepover ever.
Hey guys, look at the bright side. Now that there's no roof over the kitchen, we can sleep under the stars.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, you know, then, you know, Ernest P. Worrell spends like the next like 6 months rebuilding the Playhouse for Pee-wee, and Mr. Bean just kind of like Britishes around and
never leaves.
You know, Pee-wee just, you know, dances to tequila and rides his scooter around the green screen world.
Gets arrested for jacking off in a porno theater.
I was wondering when that was going to come up.
He starts doing blow with Johnny Depp.
There you go. Paul Rubens is awesome.
Pee-wee, what are you doing with your penis in your head? You're not supposed to do that in public.
Has an illegitimate child that grows up to become the Penguin and fights Mr. Moneybags for property values in Gotham City.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Ernest and Mr. Bean become the best of friends.
Sounds like a happy ending.
Yeah, because Ernest just doesn't stop talking, and Mr. Bean just like doesn't.
He just listens.
He just listens. That's it.
Dynamic duo.
So yeah, a fun day at Pee-wee's Playhouse with Ernest P. Worrell and Mr. Bean.
And Cowboy Curtis.
And, well,
Shambi the King.
all the standard, you know, Pee-wee's Playhouse characters. You know, Clarabelle Cow and Miss Yvette and Cowboy Curtis and the King of Cartoons and Penny and the dinosaurs and all kinds of fun.
Gumby.
It's really scary how you remember all that by name. I'm just throwing that out there.
I mean, I grew up watching Pee-wee's Playhouse. You know, that's my era.
I guess so. Oh man, I'm gonna have to rewatch it and be like, "Yep, oh that's who that was. That's the one that was on fire." There's Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep, there's Lawrence Fishburne right there, Cowboy Curtis.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
And, it's easy to remember a lot of this stuff because, like, the chair's name is Cherry, and the globe's name is Globy, and Terry is the pterosaur that flies around in the in the Playhouse, and I think there's a map called Mappy.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's
so creative.
Magic Screen is a magic screen. Zombie is the genie. He lives in the box.
Did Gumby burn alive too?
Gumby melted. Him and
Poor
Pokey,
Gumby.
Yeah, remember Mr. Bean baked them into cookies?
That's right, I did say that. Oh, well, that sucks. Green cookies.
I mean,
he and poor Pokey. Like,
either that or, Herbert West showed up and just, like, injected them with reagent, For
Evil Gumby.
For their comeback movie in 2027, the live-action Gumby movie.
Well, maybe that strand of reagent was actually made out of Gumby. I mean, they're both green.
Oh, man. There you go.
Yeah. How do you think all the inanimate objects in Pee-wee's Playhouse came alive? Obviously, Herbert West was at play here.
Should have known H.P. Lovecraft was behind it.
Special Gumby edition.
The Halloween episode.
So yeah, that's
That sounds like a wrap to me.
Pee-wee's Playhouse, guest starring Mr. Bean and Ernest P. Worrell.
The takeaway from this episode is that Ernest can fix anything.
Yep, and don't play with fire.
Don't go to any Pee-wee's sleepovers.
He's only got one sleeping bag.
And it takes a long time to eat fish and chips. Bring your own sleeping bag. Or you'll be with Pee-wee wee wee.
If you have any idea how this would have went differently, friends, please leave it in the comment section below or on our website, bmoviebros.com. So until next time, be brave, be alive, and be back for more.
When they